back, hanging on to the M4, A4. Here's the box scores coming up, and you see Titan early momentum right away. They won the pistol round. They won the next couple of rounds. Ended up losing the first gun round. That's when Virtus.Pro, it looked like the plow effect was going to start firing up, just get a couple more round wins, and that would be the end of it. Titan did a fine job, though. They won the following gun round and carried just a little bit more momentum with a 4-round winning streak. But once they lost that next gun round, they could not take control back from Virtus.Pro. And they kept on force buying. You notice that after around round 13, they force buy, trying to keep the economy low, trying to keep the pressure on Virtus.Pro. Just didn't work. 7 and 8 on your CT half. I mean, okay, Train, slightly CT-sided, sure. But you're going up against Virtus.Pro. It's not a bad showing from Titan. Clearly, they would like to finish the half with a few more rounds.
Yeah. I mean, Virtus.Pro came back in a big way. And the way we started this out, though, if you guys remember, I think it was round 4, Shox literally was 8-0 when we started round 4.
Yeah.
8 frags, 0 deaths, hadn't dropped at all. Titan was looking on point. I mean, given it was the pistol round that they won, and then 2 anti-ecos, but still, they weren't dropping a lot of players. They were getting enough frags, and they were just in the face of Virtus.Pro. That first buy round happened, and Virtus.Pro, you're like, oh, okay, they're back. They're coming back to life. And then it was 4 rounds for Titan where they just dominated it. Virtus.Pro was looking lost for a few minutes.
Yeah, they absolutely were. You look at big players in this matchup, and Shox was coming up absolutely huge. We saw him doing Shox kind of things where he just jumps around, floating in various different positions, pushing different angles, and that gave Titan quite a few round wins, especially early on in the game. And it wasn't really until Pasha started firing back up and performing. You see him; he's actually number 2 on the kill board. Didn't do as hot as we might expect. 11-1 and 11. You and I were casting that one game where he dropped what, a 44K in a double overtime game against Conquest. Of course, I know we got a whole bunch of Conquest fans hanging out in the audience right here.
Again, the Conquest love.
The home team advantage, apparently. Well, anyway, misled. Looks like round 16, first pistol round of the second half is underway. Virtus.Pro, CT side, Titan, rocking T side. Looks like 3 going towards Ivy.
Yeah, and we're going to actually have relatively the same thing that we saw from Titan that first round where, actually, no, it's only 3 outside for Virtus.Pro. Neo actually cheated his way back into the Z connector, and he's going to be a fast rotate if they need it, but Scream and Shox and his teammate with the bomb, they're all going to be working down Ivy. Pasha's going to be the initial point man. Fialdi's going to try and rotate his way over to prevent. And Snacks, now the last man outside. Neo and Taz having to go on the rotate, but Titan hasn't dropped anything yet. There goes Shox and Scream. And what a play comes out from Titan, able to get that. That's actually both pistols that just earned themselves.
2 pistol rounds in a row for Titan on Train. This is Virtus.Pro's home map and their own map pick. That's a big victory right there. If they could just keep the momentum, take it away from Virtus.Pro. Can you imagine if Titan's able to take this map away from Virtus.Pro and then move us into Cobble? That's the one map where they might have had a chance. The analysts are predicting an easy 2-0, especially with a map like Train. We have ourselves quite a matchup. This event has been the story of upsets. Can Titan do it?
Yeah, it would be huge for them to be able to pull an upset on Train. That would be very impressive. But I mean, Virtus.Pro super good on CT side on this map. And again, Titan showing a little bit of control towards Ivy. 4 members going that way. They're going to try and take it to the outside bomb site. But Pasha with the Deagle will find 2 before Taz goes down. We're evened up outside. Going to be a 3-on-3, or 3-on-2 now, excuse me. RPK might even drop in this exchange. Goes down to 65, and he does get dropped by Snacks, so Shox on an island all by himself, 1v3. He does have the bomb, and he's got a lot of time to work with. And how?
Nice
he does find
spray.
1, but not enough. Snacks and Virtus.Pro shows why they're one of the best teams. They pull an eco round off against Titan with just the pistols.
Yeah, that effectively cancels off that pistol round win for Titan. That's such a frustrating situation. And look at the money for Titan. You want to buy up heavily around this round, but it's just not going to happen. Low on the money. Shoxy pulling out the COD player's choice.
Wow, that's very interesting buy there, considering the rest of your team. All right, so they do
New
get
meta,
pistol armor, and he spends a lot of money in this round. You have to think, is that this real life, or was this a mistake that came out from Shox?
I'm not sure exactly what Shox is thinking. I mean, Shox is capable of doing Shox things. He can come up huge, but this is a long shot play at the most. He's buying up around that 2K is what's actually happening here. So hopefully he can find some initial picks, but there's Pasha holding the tight angle at Ivy, and we got the crossfire. compliments of Bialy. They've already got bomb control. They've spotted it, and it's up to Shox to try and push the issue. Smith works his way all the way up through A main, pretty close, and then goes down to the hell area. Now Shox is the only man left standing. He's got the right weapon to do it. Sprays down 1. He needs to take 3 more down. Bialy's low.
He does have the bomb in his back. He's down to 44 HP. Bialy all the way down to 1. Taz at 82. And it's going to be 3 versus 1. Shox still hanging out at Ivy. But what's interesting is Virtus.Pro is just pretty much conceding ladder and anybody coming through T-Con and just hanging back in the back lanes near the bomb. And it's working out for him as only Shox is left alive now. As I said, 1v3. He does have the Krieg in his hands. He's just trying to find anything he's able to. He's got to be careful. He's got Bialy right there playing the angle. He ends up taking down Bialy. So now he worked himself into a 1 versus 2, but Neo rotates out of T-Con, hits the shot. Virtus.Pro up 10-8 over Titan.
Well, very aggressive buy and maybe questionable play going on by Shox, but it came up huge for him. He's able to take a whole bunch of Virtus.Pro down, keep the money just a little bit low, and Titan at this point, no surprise, they're broke. They are going to have to double save, rolling out the Tech 9s. A little bit of utility is coming out from Shox and Scream, and then the extra grenades coming in from the rest of the team. So they've clearly got some sort of a plan of an execute. Smokes, mollies coming down onto the A site, blocking the view of Bialy. And they're not going to go ahead and execute on A. It's just a fake. Everybody falls back into upper, and they flow into B. Look at the double crossfire coming in from Taz. Taz up on top of the train, working the angle, along with Neo. The 1-2 fire team. Neo gets the spray, lots of damage. Neo finds the second kill, and all of a sudden they're able to work their way straight to the bomb.
Yeah, Shox is going to be in a good position. No, he's not. Excuse me, yes he is. Wow, he's actually rotate out, doesn't have a chance. I thought he was going to be in a great position there to try and wrap around the bomb train to try and pick up Pasha, maybe escape with a gun, but Pasha did hear him, was looking at it, so Shox had a chance to get a rifle out of his hands, but didn't want to risk it. I mean, they spent a lot of money that round. Pistol armor, the whole team, they get a bomb plan out of it, so they're not horrible, but still, you would have liked some more frags out of that if not a rifle saved.
Here's the thing. I mean, with that huge buy by Shox, his economy was kept extremely low, so now we're actually on a 3-save round for Team Titan. Even though they were able to show up and get a bomb plant, they get all that extra cash, they're still saving. They're still on an eco round. Shox buys up a couple of grenades. He's got 1 smoke, 2 flashes, really nothing to get the job done. And Virtus.Pro clearly on fire so far. Boom, that's the first pick. Posh is down. Posh has been such a high-impact player that's very, very important, but Titan might be a little too late.
And this time, it's interesting. Virtus.Pro, instead of conceding the initial part of the outside bomb site, they got aggressive. Snacks and Bialy were pushed up pretty far onto the Z connector, or onto T-Con, excuse me, and no real presence at ladder, but it's working out now. Shox, once again, last man standing, has an M4 in his hands, turns it into a 1-on-2. Taz is going to be over by Ivy. Neo's going to be at the back lane, and they're going to pick it up. Yeah. That's going to be a 2K for Snacks, and Virtus.Pro is up 12-8 over Titan.
Well, as expected, it's 3 eco rounds in a row. Finally, we're going to see some real weapons coming out of Titan's hands, and it's all based on that purchase by Shox. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Maybe it was a missed buy. Some big balls kind of play going on. He's got a couple of kills, but it cost them multiple rounds at this point. 8-12 is your scoreline. Virtus.Pro in a great position to go ahead and win the first matchup or the first map of the night.
Yeah, aggressive force buys came out from Titan, which really hurt him. Made him drop a few rounds, but now that they have guns in their hands, they got find 2 outside. Neo's going to be left in the bomb site. Pasha's back there also. Taz is going to go on the rotate through Z connector, and he's going to be all by his lonesome inside that bomb site. And he's going to end up going down, and Titan's going to win a very, very clean gun round, only dropping RPK. Yeah,
that's huge. I mean, they're still in the fight. And they're going to be able to take the fight straight to Virtus.Pro. Problem is Virtus.Pro still rich. You see Neo pulling out the AWP, lots of utility, and they can hold this thing off for quite a while. Straight out of the gate. See where Titan goes.
So guns will still be coming up in the hands of Virtus.Pro. We only have Snacks with the CZ, though. Doesn't have the best economy, and we're going to have a very fast play from Titan, trying to work their way down through ladder with Shox and Scream. Going to be coming out through T-Con and getting shut down. Taz right there. He's got Snacks. They're playing these smokes well. They haven't allowed Titan to get in, and Taz got to push through the smoke again to find himself a 3rd frag this round. Shox, last one out there. He's got all 5 Virtus.Pro players alive. They end up taking him down. Very clean round from Virtus.Pro.
That's flawless. Absolutely flawless round by Virtus.Pro. And pushing through smoke. Also, you saw that counter flash just completely blinding Titan, allowing Taz to take, frankly, easy kills right there. Titan extremely low on the cash, and they're going to buy up, just a broken sort of buy at this point. That makes 1 round victory, so the economy for Titan has been completely reset.
So now we're going to see basically the same strat that we watched Virtus.Pro do time and time again. 2 players going to be coming down Ivy. 1 is going to be focused there in T-Con, and then 2, or well, at least 1 was watching the inside push. That was going to be Smiths and RPK, but both of them committed down ladder. They're both out into the site. Trades will happen. The numbers are in favor of Virtus.Pro, though, as only Shocks and Scream will be left alive. Bomb down out by the dumpster at Ivy, and Scream's going to be the last one left. Pasha knows he's there. As you can see, he called it for his teammates, and yeah, Snacks is already going back to try and cut him off. Neo's going to be hanging out in the bomb site, and Snacks, he should be able to pick up Scream. Scream's not going to be ready for it. Snack gets the shot, and that is going to be 14-9 in favor of Virtus.Pro. We have a timeout coming through here from Titan.
Yeah,
tactical.
That's not surprising whatsoever. I mean, they've made multiple little tiny errors, especially with the economy on their side so far. There was that 1 buy, it cost them 3 rounds. Score line's 9 and 14. The thing is, calling a tactical timeout at this point, it might be too little too late. We're just 2 rounds away from Virtus.Pro victory on Train. Now, I understand it's a long shot at best for Titan to go ahead and take Train from them, but you got to expect something a little bit better than this. Last time the 2 teams met was over at DreamHack, and it didn't go so hot for Titan either.
And right now, Virtus.Pro, ever since they started winning gun rounds, they had those 7 rounds in a row from T side of first half. They hadn't really looked back. I mean, they dropped a pistol again to Titan, but they came up in a huge eco, got 4 rounds in a row off of that, only dropped Titan's initial full buy, and that really hurt them because after that, they got 2 more in a row in favor of Virtus.Pro, and now we have Titan with no cash here, trying to figure out how to prevent Virtus.Pro from going to map point in round 24. And I just don't see much of what they could do. I think at this point they have to play for the tie. They have to just try and conserve their economy, maybe throw a fake somewhere, try and get the bomb down at the other bomb site, get cash rolling back in your favor so then you could try and win out from there and force overtime and see if you can get something sneaky off against Virtus.Pro on arguably Virtus.Pro's best map.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the only option they have is the hope to force some sort of an overtime, but with such a round deficit, it seems like a long shot at best. There you see the Twitter poll. 56% are favoring Titan in this best of 3. Keep in mind, this is just map number 1 of Train. Train was picked by Virtus.Pro. It is their hometown map. The next map is Cobble. It could go either way, but you heard what the analysts were predicting. They're thinking that this is probably also going to go in favor of Titan. Timeout has been ended, and let's see exactly what strats Titan has underway. They don't have the money to go ahead and buy, so you see Tech9's lots of utility and pressure at Ivy.
Yeah, Bialy just pushed up behind that box at Ivy. Shocks doesn't quite know he's there. He has to think somebody's close. Bialy's actually going to go for the peek here. Gets a ton of damage off. Can he make it 2? 1 more player to beat. Will get all 3 of the Titan players outside Ivy. And so the bomb's down. Now Virtus.Pro has control of it. They've dropped Taz. It's going to be RPK and Smiths left alive outside. RPK will get 1 more. That's going to be 2 on the round for him. But look at Neo, already about to come down that ladder. He's going to be able to get out. He's going to be able to find RPK from the side easily. And now it's just up to Smiths running around inside that A bomb site, and he's going to be trying to turn it into a one-on-one. Neo's right there in his face. Neo's got to be careful. He ends up going down. So what looked like a round that Titan was just going to get mopped up on, as they turned this into a close one here. Bialy got to be careful. Smith does have the op in hand. Bialy low, and now Titan gets the round somehow. Smith will win it, gets the 1 versus 1. And just like that, Titan stole some momentum away. So after that timeout, that was exactly what Titan needed to be doing.
Smith's working some magic right there. He's got nothing but a Tech-9. He's completely outnumbered and scores the victory for his team single-handedly. This makes 22 kills so far. He's plus-minus of +4, just behind Shocks. So far, Extent's not representing for his team so well. Shocks calling the strats on that timeout, working well. Now, what's interesting is the Virtus.Pro economy has been reset. Look at the push. So he's got nothing but P250s, Deagles. Here it is.
Good push came out. Ended up getting 1, and it's going to force it into a 3-on-3 now. And we just lose Bialy now. And Titan ready for this one. They have guns up in their favor. Snacks does find himself the op, though. That could help out a lot. Let's see if he just tries to save this thing. He's up in Whitehall. Got it on his back. And actually going to push his way back down. Pasha outside, working towards the train. Pasha's able to work that deagle. Gets the shot off. Here comes Snacks. They're going to be able to get in the face of the remaining Titan player. Down to 14 HP. He's got to be careful. He's getting pushed up on Snacks. He's going to force in his direction. Who is going to win the exchange? They're right around the corner from each other, and just like that, Snacks will get it. Virtus.Pro puts themselves on map point in round 25, and when Titan looked like they had a lot of life left, they just dropped it right there.
Yeah.
Now they have no money, so now they have to try and pull an eco again to get this round.
Yeah, again, a long shot. We are on match point, and Existence just left all alone in a 1 versus 2 clutch situation. He hasn't been showing up for his team today on train, and his crosshair was just a little bit off as he walks around the corner, losing that final engagement. Disappointing. The best they can purchase are Tech 9s and lots of utility. They were able to eco the previous round. Let's see what they can do. They're clustering up heavily around B. Virtus.Pro. Neo just watching the angle, takes him down. Taz also with a 2K. Now, Scream pushes the angle. Headshot machine. Tech 9 to the face. Scream also taking him down, dropping us into a 2v2. Suddenly, the odds are even.
Yeah, we're going to be 2-on-2 here. Scream's trying to find the angle. Biali's going to work his way around. Pasha gets the touchdown.
It's over.
So one member of Titan left alive. He's got 79 HP, body armor, 2 flashbangs, a grenade, and a P250. If he can drop his way back down, try and get around ramp, steal away a gun, but Pasha's going to be pushing up top. Pasha's going to try and find him. Pasha doesn't get it. Actually brings him down to 58. And now, remaining Titan player, last hope left, Virtus.Pro, trying to win map number 1, making it 16-10. Biali's going to be watching down lower ramp. Here comes Distance, got to work down all the way down to 4 HP. Biali will get it, and Virtus.Pro takes map number 1, 16-10. And what looked like they were struggling initially, like maybe Titan figured out what they need to be doing here against Virtus.Pro. Virtus.Pro just turned it on a dime and didn't look back.
Yeah, I mean, Titan, they did a fantastic job initially. They did a fantastic job initially picking up the pistol round. They had a decent CT side. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a great CT side on train with a 7-8 score line. You've got to be proud of yourself going up against Virtus.Pro like that, but you're going to need just a few more points. It's just like if you're playing on, let's say, Mirage or maybe even Inferno. You've got the sort of CT halves. You look at that and you say, oh boy, going on T side, we've got to win the pistol round, which they did, but then we've got to carry a whole lot more momentum. Problem is, they didn't. They weren't able to string any rounds together. The only round wins were little individual one-off rounds, including an eco, which, those eco rounds, they tend to be a complete long shot. Another issue is the fact that you had so many issues where Existence was left alone in 1v2 clutch situations. He just hasn't been showing up.
Yeah, and man, a rough game came out from Titan. Virtus.Pro ended up taking it, but we're going to throw it down to our analyst down there. Take it away, Scoots.
Come twice.
Thank you, gentlemen. Again, when it started, I kind of thought I was watching some old school Counter-Strike, you know. Titan wins the pistol. Virtus.Pro loses the next couple, so we end up their first gun round, which is round 4, the old school style. They lose the gun round. Titan then takes the next one, but then kind of the plow digs in. 7 straight rounds.
This is the problem you've got when you play Virtus.Pro on train and they're on that T side. They will always find a way to get those between 5, 8, rounds. That's where they're always at. And they do it by just getting a read on the CT setup, and then they adapt, and then they just punish you. And this is the thing. This is where perhaps Shox has shown a little bit of naivety, dare I say, in kind of being an in-game leader. The CT, they sort of needed to change things around. Once Virtus.Pro got a read on them and they were getting into those sites, especially on that A-bomb site, they were just really being able to execute and get out there almost at will. And they weren't holding Ivy particularly well. So, they needed to switch things up, and they just didn't. And Virtus.Pro love that. They love it. And, of course, same old story for them. Taz, once again, he is like the king of train for them. He always posts 20 frags or above. Meanwhile, I felt that there was a few issues within Titan that really came at the forefront. RPK doesn't know this map as well as some of the others. He was absent. Existence again. Same old from him. Is he ever going to really trouble the scoreboard? Turns out not very much. And I was actually kind of expecting Scream to maybe go big here. They were sort of pushing the area of the map where Scream was populating. He did have some nice moments, but they weren't particularly strong. Again, it was actually Shox and Smiths who's played better here than we've seen him for a long time at this tournament, who had to dig deep. But in the end, normal service resumed, and it was a comfortable win for Virtus.Pro.
Almost the best you could hope for if you're Titan.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the nice start. Okay, you dropped the round, but you get the streak going. But you know sooner or later VP's going to start getting on the board. You're not just going to 14-1 them. You're not going to 15-0 them. It's just not going to happen on train. And once they do get T rounds, I mean, it's almost over for most teams at that point.
Yeah, and 8-7.
They're so good on both halves. So you know all these rounds we're giving up on our CT half. I mean, we're not going to get 9 rounds on our T half, and they're really good on CT. One of the interesting dynamics of this map, the reason why Taz does so well scoreboard-wise and in terms of game impact, is because here's the weird logic of it. Okay, yes, he's fantastic on this map. He's a specialist at the lower inner ramp. He's always played that position in 1.6. But because Snacks is outside, they have this heavy setup outside where they love to play there. They want you to attack outside. That's where most teams in CSGO attack anyway. Well, they're so good at it, you want to go away from that, and you want to, in your brain, you think, well, Taz should be one of the weaker players on the team. Let's get the inside side. Let's attack the inside side. So as a result, you're actually funneling people all the time towards him, and then, well, what do you know? He's also one of the best in the world at that position. I mean, even if you go outside, the thing that always defined him in 1.6, and he still has in CSGO, is he just has at that one position some crazy intuitive timing on when you can flank through the ladder room. And he just gets them so often.
Yeah.
It's like the comms from outside mixed with his own read of, like, I haven't seen anyone in a little bit of time. He knows when he can push through without the guy who normally waits there, just killing you straight dead. So you had that dynamic in, and then we know that T-side's sick, but you have that on CT side. It's why so few teams can beat him on train.
Yeah, and it's like you said, he starts out playing the inner ramp site, but that also makes him the first rotator through connector, and he literally was shutting down outside. Like, his boys slow it down. He rolls in, like you said, takes a peek at ladder, takes a peek at bomb train.
That's what good teams do, Scott. If you can't, if you're not positionally set up to drop the bodies and get the kills, you just got to buy time. Use the terrain. And in Snacks, you've got somebody who understands that better than probably as anyone else in the game of Counter-Strike. So it just sets things up wonderfully for rotators, Taz in particular, but Pasha as well, you know. They can just come around and they're just on cleanup duty. As long as those guys don't die, that you're going to win the CT. So, I mean, that's a textbook Virtus.Pro performance. If anything, score probably slightly flatters Titan because they got off to that really good start.
Yeah, Titan really never was going to win this game. Like, as soon as I saw VP start to get the T rounds and then start to make a streak going, I was like, Titan's in a lot of trouble here. Unless they've got something fantastic on T-set they've come up with overnight, this isn't going to be a win for them. So, unfortunately, I don't think Titan can even feel like, well, we were in that game, we're in the series. They now have to feel like we better be amazing on Cobble. Because otherwise VP's going to do the same thing to you there. And they're going to get T-rounds there, and they're going to win the series 2-0.
And I think that's where the big question mark comes in. Once again, this is a team that's kind of, they're evolving on the fly. You can see them developing in this tournament from day 1 to day 2. Sure. You can see the strides they've made. But now they're up against elite level opposition on maps where they're capable of beating anybody. So Cobble, what have they done overnight? Because yesterday they were okay on it, but you're going to have to be better than okay to beat Virtus.Pro. So what have they changed overnight? Their T-side needs a lot of work.
Well, we're going to talk about Cobble. When we come back, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Players are kind of getting reset for map 2. When we come back, we'll talk about Cobble. We'll see if Virtus.Pro can close this out or if Titan can tie it up. Back in a minute.
Stay as friends. I'm waiting, I'm hoping that you set me free. Can't take the pressure, you hold over me. I'm falling, I'm fading, I'm losing my mind. Can't take the pressure and leave you behind.
All right, folks, it's time for map 2 of our first semifinals. Titan taking on Virtus.Pro. Let's get right into it. Next map is Cobble, one of the newer maps in the rotation, heavily edited since it was released.
Yeah.
Thorne, we were talking off camera about Virtus.Pro's innate ability and intentional strategy to dive into these kind of outlier maps quickly when they come out. Why do you think that is, and how does it work in their favor?
Well, what's funny is it's like basically a larger scale version of what I described about I think the smart move if you're an underdog team is. If you're an underdog team, try and pick one of the maps that the other teams don't like, either overpass or train, go really super hard at it, make it like a weird speciality for you, and then when they leave it up, pick it, and then you've got some slight chance to win the series or to cause them problems, you know. What VP did essentially, from my money, is they looked at the scene and they saw, right, we're not the #1 team, we're like maybe 4th or 5th or at times 3rd. Problem is we've got these teams ahead of us who are phenomenal on key maps that we're going to have to play. Mirage, Inferno, Dust 2, obviously. So what they literally did was they picked one map they always ban, which is the normal map, Dust 2, which you don't want to play that. We're going to ban that permanently against everyone. So there's 6 maps we've got left. And we're going to go super hard at the 3 customs. Because there's no team in the world, until very recently, who play all 3 customs. Most of them picked maybe one of the customs, because remember, the best teams, intuitively, logically, are all good on all the standard maps. They're the traditional maps. So every other team had the traditional maps, 1, maybe 2 customs. VP was like, let's become really good on all 3 customs. Then every team we play, if they ban a custom, we can still pick a custom against them. So it's a way for them as like an underdog top team in a weird way to get a slight edge. And so you've seen now, it's gotten to the point where because they banned us too, there's almost no map you can go to where they have a bad matchup against anyone. Yeah, there's teams that can beat them on Cobble, teams that can even beat them on Crane now, like I saw TSM do it, but they'll always be in the game. And so as a result, they're so hard to beat in a series because they're always going to make it 3 maps or have chances on their map. So it's quite an intelligent strategy, and it's also, it goes against the grain of a lot of the other teams. Some of the other teams, I mean, Envious is the best team in the world right now. They don't play Overpass. They never play Overpass.
Yeah, exactly. That's their constant ban. And let's be real here. We already talked yesterday about how Virtus.Pro have pocket picks that they can always come back to, like Mirage, right?
Yep.
When you've already got that in the bank, it's wonderful to be so good on the custom maps. And the only other team that even comes close to that is like Na'Vi. So, but Virtus.Pro have a much stronger T side on these customs, which is that's the ace up the sleeve. So they've got an incredible map pool.
So final thoughts on this map before we go in, starting with you, Richard.
Well, yeah, again, I just think that the way this is going to pan out is that the T side of Titan is going to really let them down against a very solid CT. By contrast, Virtus.Pro, along with Envious, have some of the best T side strats in the world on any map, just their natural play style. And I just think they're going to, the map will have an inherent bias, so it's always going to be like the 16-10. It's always going to be round about there, but actually it's going to be super comfortable for Virtus.Pro. I think Titan missed a trick in the veto.
Okay.
I think Titan can win CT rounds. They've shown us they can. The big problem is their T side hasn't been up to snuff. VP's got one of the best T sides.
All right, there you have it. Thank you, gentlemen. Once again, bringing you the action. Gonna be CEVO and Misled. Take it away, gentlemen. The map is Cobble.
Thanks. Map is indeed Cobble. This is Virtus.Pro versus Titan. Map number 2. If Virtus.Pro is able to take it, they proceed on to the finals. If not, then they're eliminated. Titan moves on to face the winner of Conquest versus Mouse Sports, which is the next matchup underway. Cobble, you heard the analysts Virtus.Pro, favored to win for sure, but even though they're so good at so many different maps, Cobble's the one that maybe Titan has the best chance on. It is their map pick. Pistol round is underway, misled.
Yeah, working our way now into this pistol. You have to think Virtus.Pro looking good on map number 1. A little bit of struggle in the beginning. They ended up bringing it back quite well, though. You have to think going into a map like this, they should be all right on it and be able to put up some big numbers. But already, Titan working their way out through a hall. Shox is going to be the only one. He's just hanging out above the drop, and Virtus.Pro is going to rotate on that. Now Shox is going to go down to the drop. He's not going to catch anybody rotating through the B bomb site, though, because Pasha had already pushed through.
Snacks.
So that's not really going to work the greatest for Shox, but Pasha, last one left now, working up the ramp, 1v3, bomb planted, a bomb site. He's in trouble here. Can he make it? Gets the first shot. Now he's going to be 1v2. Shox right there around the corner.
No.
And he pushes right into him, and Shox doesn't go for it. He plays the angle. Now he runs out. Pasha's got to be careful. Getting flanked. Still 1v2. Works it all the way into the site. Somehow, he's still alive, and he's only taken 15 damage throughout this entire merry-go-round that he's ran around this A bomb site.
So
Shox
close.
finally gets it at the end. And Titan will take another pistol. They're 3 for 3 on pistols now.
Yeah, Pasha should have died so many times there. You saw him standing in through the X-ray. There's a player just on the other side of the wall as he reloads the pistol, thinking about peeking the corner, just even edging his shoulder around on the reload. You know he had to hear exactly where it was. Like, oh, there's a reload or something in it. But that patience, not peeking the corner and thinking it might have been a fake or a bait of some sort. Fantastic. First pistol round. That's another pistol round in favor of Titan. They've been doing such a good job on pistols. Problem is they need to carry that momentum all the way forward. Moving on, you see actually a pretty heavy stack with one mid, 2A, 2B, instead of all that heavy B bias that we typically see with the new meta on Cobble.
It was interesting at the beginning of part of that round, both Yali and Pasha were back at KFC, just hanging out in the back of it, very, very deep. Neo was going to be pushed up at Matrix. He ends up going down. Taz is going to try and play the angle if anybody comes out of halls and hopes they just run right by him, but it doesn't happen, so that'll make Snacks, Bialy, and Pasha go on the rotate. And another round where Pasha's rotating deep through B, and he's going to go all the way around through T-spawn in the very longest rotate possible.
You see Smith, he's going to expand right through the smoke, takes just a little bit of damage, but he's still alive. Man advantage in favor of Titan. Decent weapons, decent force buy going on for Virtus.Pro as they back off. They're just going to go ahead and save, hang on to the weapons. Really the smart buy at this point. I mean, if they lose the guns, they're going to be forced into pistols only. At least this way, going into round number 3, they'll have some sort of a chance.
Yeah, I mean, Bialy does have the MAC-10. Pasha is going to rotate all the way back into tower with the scout that he picked up, or the scout that he's got. Snacks with the body armor and the CZ, or head armor and CZ. Just going to hold on to that. It will be a 3-man save, but we do have Titan kind of going on the hunt here. Not too much. They're mostly staying together, so they're able to trade a frag if they need to. And Pasha, look at that, just trying to see if he can get a shot off. Not going to be able to grab one, but it will be a second round for Titan. They didn't get eco'd there. Virtus.Pro does have some money into this, and you can see Taz actually dropping the MAC-10 to his teammate Neo. Let's see if they can force something out with just some upgraded pistols and that MAC-10 and the scout.
Yeah, see, saving those weapons was huge for Virtus.Pro because now they're able to face Titan on a relatively even looking buy where they have a much better chance. They're going to stack 4 at B as is usual, and Bialy's working the edge at drop down. Look how many people can he get the spray now. 1, 2, 3, 4. He gets overrun instantly. Snacks as well, and that is a solid entry by Titan. Taz also watching the window. He's able to get a kill. Might be too little, too late.
Oh, works the MAC-10. Able to take down RPK, so Neo's going to be the rotate man now. He's going to try and work his way back through the halls, so we'll be in 2-on-3. Taz going to be the first one out, has the smoke in his face. Does he commit back to it? He's going to work back and forth from the drop room, but there's so much smoke down. Neo not going to be able to go through. Taz just pushes right through it, so it's going to be up to Neo to try and speed up with his teammate. If they're going to go for this, Neo needs to not leave Taz out hanging, and Taz does get caught. It's just going to be Neo. 1-on-3, don't think he's going for it. More than likely trying to get an exit. He knows there's a Galil out there that he wouldn't mind grabbing. And at the very least, making these guys rebuy that head armor, spending more money every round is going to be huge. He gets one. Now he's going to try and see if he can get Screams or Smiths, but doesn't look like either of them are going to exit really too close to him.
Yeah, that's a big kill for Neo too because that was an SMG, so he's got a lot of cash coming in off the kills. He's forcing Titan to do some rebuys, keeping the economy as low as possible as we roll into round number 4. the first gun round. Your scoreline currently 0-3. This time, Virtus.Pro setting up to switch the momentum. Most recently, they played Cobble in that big Azubu show match, best of 5.
Yeah.
This is the only map that they lost, losing 9-16 to Navi.
So we're going into round 4. Should be the first full buy round for both teams, or essentially the first full buy round. As you can see, Virtus.Pro definitely fully bought into it. Titan, on the other hand, Smith still rocking an MP. We'll get a Galil out in the hands of Shocks. 3 AKs between RPK, Scream, and Existence. And they're only going to be... Where are they going to be trying to put? No, they're not going to let Smith go out on an island. He's actually sitting back. I thought they were going to try and send Smith hard into the halls with just the MP to try and force the issue. Not going to go with that, so it's going to be all 5 working directly up the slope. They'll be able to catch Taz right off the bat, but Snacks is going to be close. Neo's back in the side. Bialy's going to be the fast rotator, and Titan's still trying to storm their way up. They're gaining some traction. I mean, they work it into a 4-on-2 now.
Yeah, Neo ends up getting pinched off, and Bialy's going to find himself all alone with Pasha pushing up through B main. It's going to take a long time to get this rotation underway. Just 2 M4s. If I hit the old tab button, yeah, they're completely broke. Pasha's sitting on $50, and Bialy has nothing. The smartest choice is exactly what you see Virtus.Pro doing at this point. They're going to back off, hang out of the M4s, and try to make something happen going into the next round. This is great for Titan. They've got early economic momentum. They're at 4-0. Keep in mind, Titan did lose the previous map of Train. It's all or nothing right now.
Yeah, I mean, Titan has to win this to force it to a third map, which our third map, I believe, is Inferno, correct?
Yeah, we got Inferno, number 3.
Our randomized third will be Inferno. That'll be a knife for sides if we go for it. And Pasha actually goes down. Smith will sniff him out with the op in hand. Ends up taking Pasha down, so no save comes from the tower player. That's only going to be Bialy able to save his M4 for the next round. And on their side, economy not the greatest. I don't really expect them to buy around this or try and force around it, but upgraded pistols do come out. More than likely, that's all we're going to see is upgraded pistols. And Virtus.Pro going to try and stop the hemorrhaging here and not allow Titan to get 5 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, the silver lining is Virtus.Pro is heading towards max loss bonus, so you're looking at a completely solid buy going into the next round. But this one, largely a throwaway. They're just going to have to force up around what Bialy's got.
Yeah.
And he spends all of his money on grenades and utility to get something done. Look at Neo pushing up aggressively. Outside of Long, that aggressive play is not going to pay off. It's going to give Neo the quick and free kill. Look at Taz, cheeky position real close, sees that molly and the flash, and he's called for a rotation from Pasha. Pasha comes into the A site, but it might just be a fake. You see Titan backing off, working their way towards Dragon Lore.
Yeah, they are going to force their way backwards. Bialy's going to be rotating all the way up into the A-bomb site. Taz, Pasha, Bialy are now going to have to rotate out of the A-bomb site, as Snacks will be the only man left. And luckily, no one's hit the drop from Titan. They haven't tried to force through. Snacks will get 1 before RPK goes on the trade. Bialy's still going to try and rotate in. There's the drop player coming through. That's going to be a molly burn onto Pasha, and it will just be Taz left, 1v3, as Titan has full control of this B-bomb site, and they have guns.
Yeah, the only thing that they've been able to do is take 2. Taz is able to pick up an AK-47. Instead of saving it, he's going to go for it. Makes sense, though. I mean, you are going to max loss bonus. You're going to be able to buy a full anyway. May as well, YOLO. Try to get another kill.
Yeah.
Try and force more rebuys from Titan. 5-0. That's all right. Virtus.Pro, they're popping out 2 ops defensively, 1 in the hands of Neo, and then Pasha also working the op role. He's been such an influential player, doing a decent job with rifles, pulling the op out, and then, as we saw, versus Conquest, pulling out 3 knife kills in a single best of 3.
Working our way into round 6 now. Looks like Titan's going to get aggressive here at B. They know it should be a full buy. Scream's going to be the one that's going to force out pretty quick here. RPK actually backs up. He's going to work back towards the drop. It's still going to be 3 players of Titan. Very aggressive at B. Scream will go down initially, so the op is paying off. Pasha hits his first shot, and here comes all of the players from Virtus.Pro rotating in that direction. Neo might hang out and just watch the window out of drop. Now he's going to have to go back to that A-bomb site. They have bomb down now, no reason to. Shocks is going to have to pull back. It looks like he wanted to go to A the long way and make some noise, but he's going to find nothing for himself. He will be 1 versus 5, bomb down out on the platform, and easily able for Virtus.Pro to control this.
Yeah, heavy B stack. At this point, Shock's going to find himself isolated, and there you go. Aggression from Virtus.Pro, poking out, taking the fight to Titan. That's the first round on the board for Virtus.Pro, and I don't know. That wasn't a very impressive play. It was a bit underwhelming coming from Titan. It seemed like there was nobody in position to make the trades. It was 1 wait, 1 wait, 1 wait, and there you go. Need to tighten it up just a little bit for Titan. They've got enough money to pull up another buy, but a couple more rounds in. we'll be looking at an eco.
It looked like they were doing this basically the same thing they're doing now. This is going to be a 3-2 split, 3 through the drop, 2 are going to come out through long B, and I mean, they just get mopped up. Bialy was ready for the drop players, Snacks was in that argument, and Pasha looking up top, he knows that Bomb's there, they know Shock is up there, they know Scream is up there, they just have to get him. Here comes the full rotate from Virtus.Pro, but I mean, essentially that round that they lost, the guns up round, they came out fast initially, trying to work out through B, and then just stopped, and you had players rotating backwards. They didn't know where they wanted to go. They wanted to go fast. It didn't work out, and this time they try and use full speed with the 3 players coming through the drop, the 2 coming out the long way, and it still didn't work. They still got mopped up.
Yeah, it's not working very well for Titan. Silver lining, they were able to take 3 members of Virtus.Pro down, but it's just not going to keep the economy low. Virtus.Pro is sitting on a whole lot of money, buying up full Titan. This is their last buy round before they're going to have to eco. They've got the op in Smith's hand, and time to switch it up. They're going to focus on running a default, 1 towards B drop, and we have a little bit of emphasis going on at A. RPK's in a position, pushing up. Neo was thinking about pushing closer and maybe putting a little bit of pressure on these A players. And Screaming RBK just watching for information. They're hoping that Virtus.Pro makes a mistake, puts themselves into a bad position, but VP, very disciplined play, not pushing out, which is uncharacteristic for this team.
Yeah, just setting themselves up in good positions here. Taz a little bit more aggressive at the slope. Neo's also playing that angle too. No one really having any presence at the upper A alls. Taz would be the fast rotator in that direction. Snacks and Bialy both going to be playing the drop. And it looks like Titan wants to try and work this towards A. They're being very cautious here, they know. As you just said, CEVO, they don't have cash after this round, so they need to make this one count. They can't be running in, not checking angles, and just dropping guns.
Yeah, you see heavy concentration for Titan. They put all their pieces into the A site, and it's going to be a flash out, 4 straight out of mid-ramp, and then Smith single-handedly working the angle from long. They're going to get site entry, and then they smoke it off good. Look at Neo, though. He's going to hang back really far. Snacks pushing out as well.
Wow.
Lots of play going on from the rotators. Neo's not showing himself just yet, then finally pokes out with the op, taking Smith down. We're in a 1v1. It's going to be Existence versus Pasha, the star for Virtus.Pro versus Existence, who's been lagging on the leaderboard so far, falls through smoke. He's got the bomb, works his way towards B side. The question is, can Pasha figure it out? He has. He's on the way.
Yeah, now he's going to swing his way back towards that B-bomb site. We will have a one-on-one. Existence is going to be able to get that bomb planted. He's got to be careful. It's going to be an AK versus an M4. Pasha has dropped it, but Existence will be able to get it. Gets himself a 3K on the round, and Titan will go up 5-2 over excuse me, 6-2 over Virtus.Pro, and they do save their economy there because that was the round where if they didn't win it, they're going to be on a save. But Virtus.Pro was in that same situation.
It's a big round.
They're going to spend all their money into it, though, so they're not going to go for the save. They're going to buy out with 3 players on full force buys with Neo and Taz, the only ones with actual rifles.
Yeah, it's a big, big round for Titan winning that one. Virtus.Pro, you called it. They're going to force buy. You have to force buy because if they can take this round, then they essentially wreck Titan's economy once again, forcing them down to possibly having an eco. Missed op shot coming through right there. Titan working the exact same default as last time. We saw them end up concentrating heavily on the A side. Meanwhile, Shocks and Existence are looking for information at the B side. Of course, Shocks has been taking over his in-game leadership for, he said, officially 1 day. He's made calls in the past, but he's the one in charge, and Existence's mind is now free to focus on important things like fragging. Looks like they're focusing on A site. 1 minute on the clock. They just might commit.
Again, Titan working back towards that A bomb site. They had a lot of luck here. Basically the same positioning coming out from Taz and Neo. Neo's actually going to drop back towards the APC a little bit sooner. Taz is going to be playing much more aggressively up in the mid area as Snacks will go on a full rotate. Same with Bialy, and Pasha's probably going to push through this smoke and try and go on a fast rotate, but Taz gets dropped.
Nope.
And man, Titan getting everything that they need to make happen, but Snacks is in the back of the bomb site. Bialy on the rotate, and we've only lost Miss.
Yeah, the problem is Neo and Taz were the only players with real guns for Virtus.Pro, and then they're dropped. Suddenly you're left with a full retake going on with Mac 7s. I mean, come on, Pasha left all alone. He's going to get smoked off Mag 7. Needs to take it to a close quarters fight, and honestly, it's probably not going to happen. Watch this. The Scream misses the shot. He just does so much damage. Not able to finish the job with the Swag 7. Scream naturally responds with a headshot. This is huge. Titan now leading by a long shot, 7-2, and there was only a 2-round slump. They've taken it back. This is a 2-round spree so far for Titan.
I mean, we're not far off from what we saw in map number 1. Titan gets up to 7 rounds first half. Virtus.Pro was only at 1 round, and then all of a sudden it started changing. Virtus.Pro gets their second round. Titan tries to come back into that, and then it was just all Virtus.Pro. They dominated their way through. Let's see if they're able to do it again. And I believe it started with an eco, or at least like a pretty broken buy too. Nonetheless, into round 10, Virtus.Pro doing what they can. Bialy's going to be down. Same with Snacks and Pasha. Only Neo and Taz left. Now it's just Neo. He's going to be trying to rotate his way through the halls. Smith knows where he's at. Scream's going to go watch the drop. RPK more than likely going to swing this all the way back down towards mid to make sure Neo can't escape easily. And actually, he's just going to hang out and watch him if he tries to come through the connector door.
Yeah, kind of what you might expect from an eco. You'd want them to take just a little bit more kills. Look at how low everybody on Titan is. You got RPK sitting at 5, Shoxy at 9, Smith's even low at 28. So really one tap with this P250 on all but Scream, and it's going to be a free kill for Neo. He's going to push the issue, come around behind, sneaky beaky, takes the first, takes the second. Can he get Scream? Not meant to happen. And Scream finishes the job. That got close.
Yeah, I mean, Scream gets the ace out of that round. All 5 kills go to him. Smith's very low on HP. That's going to be 8-2 now for Titan. Yeah. And Virtus.Pro has to come back in a big way. They have to come up huge here in this buy round. They need to get these guns working. And it's just going to be M4s across the board. Only Taz with the silent M4, though. Everybody else rocking the A4. And Virtus.Pro needs this round. They need to start the comeback here. If they can win out, make 7 rounds from CT side, that's really going to help out a lot when they go to switch to T.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Titan had already planted the bomb, and it was pretty much all over. But that's still a huge play. Very important to take the guns out of the hands of Titan players, and also make just a couple more, a little bit more money with those P250 kills. You're going to see a heavy A execute going on right now. RPK, and then everybody else swooping out of mid. Taz holding the tight angle, not going to be checked. That's going to give Taz a free kill. Peeks the corner and does severe damage with the spray down, but that's all right. Snacks in position to make the trade-off, and then the 2K. And 1 by 1, Titan's getting mowed down. Extends, can he come up? Nope.
He got the 2 players inside the bomb site, but he was kind of out on an island. Right behind that wall was Taz. Ended up getting caught finally on the rotate, so that is going to be a 3rd round for Virtus.Pro. And Titan, where they were having a lot of luck before, working through A, picking up Taz and Neo really easy. It doesn't work out that time. Taz puts himself in a little bit different of a position, back inside the bomb site or right outside that ledge, where he's going to be trying to play for anybody getting up close. Neo a little bit more aggressive. He ended up going down, but Taz, great play, allows Bialy and Pasha to rotate over from the B bomb site, and now Titan going to go back for a little bit more speed. This is the kind of the same strat that they did where they got blown up. Shox came out a little too fast, Scream came out 1 by 1, and they just got tore up. Let's see if Virtus.Pro can do that again.
Yeah, back to a B execute. You're going to see Shox. He's able to drop the player from tree. Pasha, super close, playing that spot that JDM's been favoring for CLG so much, and is able to pick up a 2K round test. Wow, and then Snacks finishes that round off with a 2K. Titan's been avoiding the B bomb site pretty heavily, and maybe this is the reason.
They did that exact same thing. They had 4 players come out through long, and 1 go down through the drop, and it didn't work out. They got caught by a flashbang. They got caught by a counter smoke. They ended up streaming out one-on-one out of the platform, and they just got tore up. They had a lot of luck when they did a 3-2 split, dropped the 3 down, but still ended up getting caught out trying to make their way out of the drop. And again, they're looking like they're going towards B. This time it looks like a heavy, heavy presence, though, of players near the drop. And maybe just Screams and they go out and try and fake it. Let's see how Titan reacts to this, or are they going to try and go off this? But again, streaming 1 player out by himself out into the open over there, they're just getting caught out. Pasha is playing that too well. Same with Bialy. They're trying to get the drop now. Snacks is right there. He gets 1 before he goes down, but here comes Bialy. Bassman on the rotate. Only 1 Titan player left alive, but he is going to be 1v3.
Yeah, Exodus picks up the M4A4. He's sitting on $2,200 after 2 round losses so far. He's going to go ahead and force the issue, and it's not going to pay off. Bialy's able to win the firefight with the spray down, and Virtus.Pro starting to close the gap. You know, this was heavily Titan-sided, winning the pistol round and then going 3, 4, 5 rounds in a row, and then it started trading back and forth, back and forth. Virtus.Pro finally with full-on momentum. Titan, after 3 losses, able to buy once again.
I talked about it. I mean, if they could win out from here, they can make it an 8-7 half, have those 7 rounds from CT side. and they've been doing what they need to be doing. I mean, they're up to 5 now. If they can win this one, how terrible is their economy looking? But it's going to be a 4-round loss bonus. They're pretty bought into it. Doesn't matter. They're going to have to buy out because it'll be final round of the half. So it wouldn't be a super healthy buy, but it would be anything that they could get to try and help them win a round. And already, Shocks gets dropped right off the bat. Snacks goes all the way down to 46 HP to get that. But Titan, slow playing here, a little bit more spread out. Only one Titan member over towards the B-bomb site. He's going to be hanging out, trying to see if he can find anything from the drop, but I don't think anything's going to happen for him. Snacks is rotating back in that direction. He's got to be careful. He might peek the exact angle, and he does. And that is going to be a frag in favor of Titan, so they even it up, make it a 4-on-4.
Yeah, that's important. Since putting pressure on the B side, keep the rotators off. Bialy's going to go ahead and find him out, and then the A execute is underway. Smith's leading. RPK is going to go back and get the bomb. This is a little dodgy. Now the team's a bit spread out. You see Scream at fence. Smith's holding the angle with the off. They're going to wait and delay for RPK to show up mid. Neil all alone, spamming through the smoke, and the rotation's already come underway. Couple of kills, and Pasha finds himself all alone. Takes one with the off and Scream. Standing at the bomb site. Problem is he doesn't have the bomb. Pasha predicts it. What an off shot.
Yeah, snaps that back into the site, ends up taking it down. But I mean, Titan, initially right off the bat, they drop a player. They use extends at the drop to get a shot, even it out, make it a 4-on-4. They start to work their way towards that A bomb site. You have to think it might have been a little different if RPK would have had the bomb on his back already. So instead of just 2 players that had to kind of slow work their way out into that bomb site, they could have had 3, been a little bit more aggressive off the smokes that they had. I mean, because they allowed Pasha and his teammates to drop, or Pasha and Bialy to drop down behind the APC and try and work in from CT spawn. So if they would have been a little bit faster in there, you have to think that might have been a round that Titan could have got. They could have had this looking like it's going to be more like a 9-6 half instead of 8-7.
And just like that, Titan's economy is legitimately wrecked, but it is the last round of the first half. You've got to buy into it. Nothing but Tech9s. Look at Snacks taking the drop player down immediately. Now RPK responds with the tray off, but there's 2 more guns standing, waiting on him. Drop has been secured, and just like that, Scream finds himself alone. Neo, yeah.
Yeah, another round. Titan tries to make a 3-2 into that B bomb site. Different, though. This time it was 3 coming out long. 2 were going to go down to the drop. And again, between Bialy and Pasha, they were all over that. Snacks gets in the argument also. And they take enough time. They delay long enough that Titan's not able to force their way in. And it allows the rest of the Virtus.Pro members, Taz and Neo, to start rotating their way from the A bomb site and take control of the drop room so they can allow Snacks to rotate over, maybe help out from the backside of Fountain, maybe have Pasha stay alive. But I mean, he played KFC so well that they didn't really need that long for teammates to rotate in.
Wow, 8 and 7 right there. I mean, if you look at the way the rounds broke down, it's almost an exact mirror. Titan opens up the round with 3, 4, 5 rounds in a row, and then it's just a little bit of trading back and forth, and then Virtus.Pro ends with their own victory streak at the end, and it couldn't get much closer than this. 7 and 8 could really go either way based upon the way these 2 teams are playing. We've got the box scores pulled up, things that stand out. One huge 4K round for RPK. Misled, I think you were talking about that earlier. And Pasha, he's representing for Virtus.Pro, but he's not putting up these huge numbers that made him stand out so well yesterday. That's to be expected when you're going up against Titan, who seems to be firing on all cylinders once again.
Yeah, so one big thing here is if you take a look at the numbers, Shocks, 7 and 12 right now. By round number 4 on Train, he was 8-0. Ended up finishing decently well on what did he finish at? 26 and 18 on map number 1. So I mean, that's a big problem. You're not having Shocks go off the way you would expect him to. The numbers that he needs to be putting up to really help the team.
Yeah, Shocks is bottom frag right here.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Well, he's second to bottom because Smith only has 5.
Yeah,
barely bottom frag.
Yeah,
so I mean,
you can't have that. I mean, Shocks is one of these huge players who comes up, showing up in all the right places at the right time. I mean, he's the one who's going to come pushing around, popping, floating in all different positions on the map, and generally it works out very well for him. Now, I can't help but wonder if maybe his head is being clouded a little bit by the in-game leader syndrome. I mean, we've seen that with Sean Garrett a lot. He's so focused on trying to outthink and anti-strat these teams back and forth. Maybe we'll see Shocks falling back a little bit, and then they might have to think about getting more brains, more brains into the leadership role.
Yeah, I mean, but he is an impact fragger. You expect him. You really need him. I mean, the
You
things
do
that
need
he
him.
can open up for Titan, allow them to work different angles, allow them to get that man advantage, force the issue,
Yeah.
is huge. And you can obviously see when that's not happening, they don't get those big explosive plays that you would expect. They don't allow the rest of their teammates Scream or Smiths to get into good spots, RPK to get into different spots, thanks to Shox opening it up. And I believe Conquest
That's
just
Conquest.
entered the building.
The last hope of North America is in the house, but anyways, the round is underway. It's going to be pistol round second half. Virtus.Pro versus Titan. Titan's got the lead 8-7, and straight out of the gate, Virtus.Pro wanting an A rush straight up mid. Lots of decoys in mid also. Look how fast the rotation's coming underway, Misled.
Yeah, they're going to rotate as fast as they can, but frags will be going in favor of Virtus.Pro. Snacks all the way down to 9 HP, but he does get one. Taz just drops, so we're going to have Shox and Smiths. They're both out into that A bomb site. Bomb is going to be planted. Biali's looking for him. Neo's got a great angle to use right here. He uses it once, looking to find Shox. Shox will be the last man, and again, we were just talking about him. He can be explosive, but he wasn't explosive enough. Virtus.Pro will tie it up. That's 8-8 now. And that's going to bode well for them. If they get both these anti-ecos, that's going to be 10-8, and Titan will definitely be on the back foot. And that's a lot of rounds in a row in favor of Virtus.Pro. What was that? 6 in a row right there for them? Yeah, 6 in a row.
That makes 6 rounds in a row for Virtus.Pro. They've definitely got the momentum. They've figured it out. They've cracked the code for Titan. Winning the pistol round, that's also going to be huge. Sets them up for just a couple more round wins. And simple strat, man. They dropped 3 decoy grenades to make them think it was going to be an A hit, and then they rushed to A. Too many guns on site, and even though Titan responded, re-rotating straight into the site, they were able to win all those single 1v1 firefights. This time Virtus.Pro playing it just a little bit slower, no real shots being exchanged. Look how heavily they bought too. They've got 3 AK-47s as they set up for the B hit. Pasha's already pushed out on B plat.
That's actually the first pistol round that we've seen Virtus.Pro in this series against Titan. It's the first one they actually got, and they got it right when they needed to. I mean, that ties the game up. They were a little bit behind. One player down for each team, and look at Scream hitting the headshot with the deagle. Removes Neo trying to force out. Taz takes a ton of damage. Biali's down to 2 HP. Somehow Snacks with the AK, but I mean, man advantage now for Titan as the bomb has worked all the way into that B bomb site. Biali stays alive for a little bit longer before finally going down to RPK, so it'll just be Taz left. And
Wow,
Smith
Titan
will get him. Titan takes the lead once again.
You know, that Scream opening it up with those 1D shots, he's known for the headshots, and in the recent interview that HLTV did with him, he was talking about the recent update, how they changed all the hitboxes, and Scream seemed to think that it's helped his game. He's actually able to hit those headshots, and for that reason, he's switching back to that tappy style. And you put a deagle in his hands, I mean, it may as well be an AK-47. He's going to hit the headshot and take you out of the game, just like that.
So now into round 18, Virtus.Pro going to be down. They're going to buy into this, though. They don't want to allow Titan to get that momentum back. So just like we saw on map number 1, Titan taking a pistol, Virtus.Pro getting an eco, exact opposite. Virtus.Pro gets a pistol, Titan gets the eco. Now we're going to be 1-on-2. Now we're going to be 1-on-1. Neo's going to be the last man left, going against Smiths. Got to go back and get the bomb, but he has so much time left on the clock to work with here. He can go anywhere. He can play quite a bit of mind games against Smith, and they're both thinking the same thing. I think Smith hears him. Gun battle ensues. Neo gets it, and back-to-back round switches. Neo with the 3K, and so Virtus.Pro gets pistol. Titan gets an eco. Virtus.Pro wins a force buy. Is Titan going to get a force buy off here? Let's see. It looks like they're going to be forcing up. Shox already has a rifle. Screams with the pistol and head armor. Yeah, they're going to force, so see if we can get back and forth, continually going.
That seems to be the trend at this moment. The double AK is going out. I mean, nobody really seems to have a gun advantage. And Virtus.Pro, they're going to start putting their players up towards B site. Neo standing there in his standard lurk position just outside of A. You've got a standard force stack for Titan at B. Extents is going to push up close, play on the edge of the smoke, takes a couple of shots with the 5-7. Not going to find anybody through smoke. They're hanging back. Biali, Pasha, Taz, making noise. You see Neo on the rotate back into B site, which means with 1 minute 10 seconds on the clock, Virtus.Pro is going to commit.
Yeah, Biali looks like he's going to force his way out. He's out immediately, gets one, traded out very fast. Here comes the players down through the drop. RPK is right there below. He'll find one before Neo finally gets him. We're going to be 3-on-3. Shox, Scream, Smith alive versus Neo, Snacks, and Pasha. Pasha's out. He's out at the headshot, and they're actually going to boost Neo back up. He does have the bomb on his back. Let's see if he tries to wrap towards A. No, he's going to go the long way around out to where Pasha is. Snacks is going to try and work out of the drop room, but Smith will be real close. Same with Scream. Shocks is making sure no one can escape through the window and back out. Snacks is going to go out. Neo's right there. He evens it up. Can Neo get himself another clutch on the board? He's going to be looking right for Shocks. Doesn't get him, and that will be back-to-back round
This is
switches.
crazy. This
Pistol, Eco, Force.
Exactly. This is crazy. The economy is in shambles for both teams. I mean, nobody can get any sort of momentum at this point. Let's see how's the buy turn out for Titan. This time they're able to get full-on rifles, M4s, AK-47. Virtus.Pro, they're finally going to concede because they're out of cash. They need to save, put something decent together. And I think that's Taz, just understand the numbers, understanding exactly what's going on, along with Cuban, helping the team out in that coaching role. They understand we're falling behind economically with this back and forth, and if we keep going toe-to-toe, we are likely to go ahead and get wrecked.
Oh, man. RPK does open that up. It's going to be Virtus.Pro trying to work their way into this A bomb site. They've got all the Titan members stuck trying to make it out of the connector. Trades are going out. We're evening it up, making it a 2-on-2 now. We're going to have Neo with an AK. Bialy with just a P250 here. Smith does make his way all the way to the bomb site, but it doesn't matter. Neo was ready for it. And now it's all up to Extends trying to get out. He's low at HP 25, forces it into a one-on-one, but Bialy will get it. So back
and another
forth.
eco.
We are switching back and forth non-stop. Virtus.Pro gets the eco. And
Look at Bialy. He's laughing about that.
it's out of control. It's gonna hurt Titan's economy worse because more expensive via CT. But I mean, if you can continue to force, I mean, they're pretty low now. I don't really expect much more than just upgraded pistols to be coming out. But maybe, you never know. This could be finally one of these guys getting 2 rounds in a row, and more than likely it will be Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, VP's T side is just insane at this point. They've got Neo picking up and off. They've got all the utility they need for an execute. Titan's going to stack B site and Virtus.Pro with their default. They put a lot of pressure on drop down. They just might try to do some sort of a split. Shocks is already rotated off A, though, comes around the corner and gets taken out. If they know that Shocks is playing on A site, then they're going to go ahead and push in. Pasha and Neo have already taken A. They make the call. Guys, A's clear. Come on around the corner. That's Taz working the bomb over. And Smiths and Existence realize now they're stuck. They're at the wrong site, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, Pasha's going to be down in mid watching the flank. Smith's going to try and work his way through the drop, out window, and it's just going to leave Extends left alive all the way at the back of KFC. And, I don't think he really wants to get too aggressive here. No really reason not to, I guess. I mean, you only have a P2K. You have no body armor. You have no utility. You have nothing. Maybe hope that they're going to try and hunt you and you can steal away a rifle. But, I mean, you're at the back of KFC. As soon as Bialy or Snacks finds out where you are, even if you get one frag, you're not going to be able to get away from the second guy with a rifle. Bialy does pick him up. Virtus.Pro is going to be up 11-10 now over Titan. Titan finally getting a little bit of economy here to make a buy out of it. And already Scream goes straight for the deagle because it's not going to be super healthy. They're not going to be able to get ops out onto the board. Well, no, they're going to FAMAS anyway. So FAMAS has come out in between RPK, Shocks, Extends with and Smiths with M4s, and then the deagle for Scream. No head armor, but they do have some utility to try and force through this round.
Yeah, you see aggression from Titan. I mean, they've been able to eco round after round. The curse has been broken by Virtus.Pro. And look at this, Bialy's just going to shut Shocks down instantaneously. He's out of the picture, and the A hit is underway. The only person left standing is now going to be Scream, trying to rotate in and extend. So look at Smith, though. He's come all the way through the backside. Pasha is moving into position to respond. Bomb does get planted, and is Pasha able to succeed? Yeah, Pasha's able to find that kill down in mid. Pushes all the way outside towards spawn, trying to find out if there's any players back there trying to save. Extents takes the hunter-killer of Snacks, trying to take any kind of guns away, and it's really up to Extents at this point to back off, hang on to the AK-47. It's going to go 12-10 in favor of Virtus.Pro before, well, yeah, the economy for Titan's very, very low. You got Smith sitting on $50.
They forced
can't
into
do
this
anything
round.
now.
Yeah, they forced into this round, and look at the hunt coming out here. Bialy's going to go in 1-1. And he ends up going down. They have to look for Scream, though. Don't let Scream get any more frags. He's trying to find one, and they do. Only Pasha left. And, man, Virtus.Pro
that hurts.
Wins the round. but that's going to be full rebuys coming out at this point, though it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
You can
look at
see their
Bialy,
economy.
$10,000.
Yeah, they're good economy-wise, but, I mean, man, you just gave 2 rifles to Titan members that we're just going to try and save some light stuff there, and you let it happen. So force buy, not an absolute wash for Titan.
And it's good force buy.
Yeah, I mean, they come out, they completely eliminate all of Virtus.Pro. That's going to help knock that economy down a little bit. They come out with 2 rifles in the end of it, so, I mean, a little over-aggressive hunting there from Virtus.Pro gets all their players punished.
Yeah, I mean, that's the risk. They're just trying to keep that one gun out of Titan's hands, and they end up making this round something that Titan can really pull out. You got the op in Shox' hand. What is this, Shox? With the 2K collateral?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Shox doing Shox things at this point. You got 3 stacked in B, 2 at A, and Virtus.Pro. Now they have to reset and figure out exactly what to do. Bialy's hanging onto the bomb at long. Pasha Snacks going to work their way towards B. Make some noise. It's going to be a B fake.
Let's see what we're going to have coming out here from Snacks and Pasha. Looks like Snacks is probably going to be working his way towards the drop. Bialy is going to be hanging out very deep into the A-halls, not out. And it should pull. Who's going to be the rotator out of the A-bombs that if this fake is sold correctly, if Snacks is able to drop down, get himself a frag on one of these members of Titan, that'll help out a lot, maybe even Pasha, but he's got to play a very tough angle here. He does have distance looking right at him. Snacks doesn't find anything. Pasha does get one. He's going to try and back off a little bit. Bialy doesn't try and execute yet. Now he's starting to push up. Shox will be the rotator. Scream's going to be the last man. Bialy's going to come out a little wide. Scream's going to be looking for him behind the back of the APC. Scream will pick up the shot. Bomb down. Pasha, last man standing. 1 versus 4 with only 10 seconds left. And he gets picked up by Shox.
Big round for Shox right there. Let's see, this turned into a 3K round in his favor, and Titan, I'll tell you what, Virtus.Pro, they let those weapons fall into Titan's hands. They'd say it was a round that they should have been ecoing, and the rifles allow Titan to go ahead and buy up full and then take yet another round. This is such a tight back and forth half. It was 2 rounds where they trade 2 individual rounds, and then we have 3 rounds favoring Virtus.Pro before Titan take the economic advantage once again. Virtus.Pro, 4 spying around, Tech-9's 2 AK-47s, clustered at B, and yeah, the utility is being used at this point. They're going to commit to B. Neo's already out on B platform, pushing through the smoke. So scary.
Man, look at the
Somehow
smoke wall,
ends in.
though.
Yeah.
They have an absolute smoke wall. As long as Extends doesn't push up too fast, and
Look
he
at this.
does, he only gets 1 out of it, so not too much damage done there. And man, look at the force by Neo trying to get out there. Taz will get the bomb planted. It's going to be a 2-on-3. Taz in the 12 HP. Bialy's going to push up. Taz pushing right around the corner. Can't Taz get any more? Only grabs 1, so Bialy at the back of KFC. Going to be playing deep. He's got a RPK with only 13 HP. This is very winnable for Bialy. He just has to hit some very nice shots to not let RPK come from the side, but Smiths will go on the wrap. They do get a bomb plan out of it, so even though it was a force, they're going to get a little cash.
Yeah.
But Titan will tie this thing up. We're going 12 to 12
This
here.
is crazy.
And Titan has to win this map to force map number 3. Otherwise, that's going to be it. Virtus.Pro is going to go on.
Yeah, and the winner of this matchup is going to go on to the finals to play the winner of Mouse Sports versus Conquest, which is going to be an amazing matchup too. I mean, Mouse Sports, I think they're obviously the favorite to win, but Conquest has really showed up here at this tournament, making it into the semifinals against all odds. The fan base cheering them on.
Oh yeah, big upset potential in that matchup. But we're still in round 25. Virtus.Pro allowed Titan to come back and tie this game up. So Titan battling into this, and more than likely Titan, if they can just win against these pistols here, get this anti-eco off and do it successfully, they're going to take the round score 13 to 12 and be up by 1.
Well, Virtus.Pro committing to 4 players into the B site with Neil lurking outside of A looking for any sort of picks, but those picks are going to come in from Smith with the Kobe taking him down, then a 2K from RPK at window. Taz is going to go ahead and push around the corner, and that's Bomb in control of Titan. Neo left all alone at the A site. Nothing you can do at that point. Scream, headshot, 2 OP.
Yeah, RPK playing very well. That's Titan taking that 1 round advantage now. But we should have Virtus.Pro back onto a bye, so let's see what Titan can put up here. Their economy's been kind of held in check. Hasn't been the greatest. I mean, that's 3 rounds in a row for them.
back and forth,
And some
right?
of their players are decently low at the moment. I mean, 2,200 on the back of Scream, 3,400 for Smith. Existence, wow, is 3,900 right now.
Exist.
Man, I keep just destroying his name. But yeah, it's going to be a 5-man pushing. Virtus.Pro working their way towards upper B, and Pasha actually takes down Smith. And Smith got a little aggressive, tried to jump up a little bit of a broken wall
Look at
there.
this.
But good trade out, and here comes the full rotates.
Yeah, Existence just spraying through the smoke. He's completely blind. Snacks jumps around the corner. Oh, that was perfect positioning for Existence, but the flashbang takes him right out of the picture. RPK stuck in smoke. Works around the edge. Nobody sees him. Nobody expects him to be there. That's going to be a 2K. The bomb is spotted.
Looking. Snacks is right there around the corner looking for him. Pasha's going to wrap his way around. If Snacks ends up dying, Pasha gets eyes on him. Pasha will hit this shot. We tie it up 13-13. We're getting close.
This is nuts. I love this half right here. It's been back and forth, and everybody's economy has been kept so low at this point. Force buying against one another and winning these ecos, winning these force buys. Look at your poll odds right here. 53% of the people on Twitter are actually favoring Titan at this point, and 47% in favor of Virtus.Pro. A lot of Titan fanboys out there. Remember, for the underdogs to win.
If you guys want to tweet your vote out, do it right now. Use the hashtag MLG CEVO Season 8. And it's going to be Virtus.Pro or Titan. Vote for who you think is going to win this one. I mean, we're in round 27. We're tied up 13-13. It's basically sudden death for Titan. They have to win this map to force map number 3. Virtus.Pro gets this. They go on to the grand finals again for the second season. I mean, they're your returning champions. You kind of expect it. Pasha opens it up once again. Op in hand. And once Pasha gets this thing going with the op, it's pretty brutal. Drop happens. And man, Virtus.Pro working it, and they're going to actually split this back towards A. They're going to catch the rotators out. Shox knows he's been caught. Smith is going to have to push up from behind, and that is going to be Virtus.Pro grabbing a 14th round, looking very good. And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Clean round wins. Helps your economy, so if you do drop one, you have more than enough money to make a full buy afterwards. And that was very, very clean coming from Virtus.Pro.
It's getting extremely close. 14-13, just 2 rounds away from victory for Virtus.Pro. Titan not that far behind. They just need 3 more. Virtus.Pro, they've got 2 rounds in a row, so Titan's got just not enough money to do anything. So they save, they're on an eco, which means we're likely to look at a scoreline of 15-13, and then Titan's going to be buying up, trying to force us into an overtime. That's really their only hope, unless they can work a miracle right here. They've already done it multiple times this game.
Yeah, Virtus.Pro going with speed here, out B. They've already taken up an initial frag, get themselves a second one. They have control. Scream with the headshot, though. Deagle will take down Neo, but they have the gun advantage. They get the bomb planted. Snacks will grab another frag, and it's just going to be Shox and RPK, last 2 left. They have Deagles in their hands, or excuse me, a Deagle and a 5.7 between the 2 of them. And they would like to try and grab themselves a rifle. I mean, they had to save for this, so now they're having to play for the tie and get an overtime victory, because this is definitely going to go in favor of Virtus.Pro. Time ticking down. Only Shox is left. He does get Taz. Grabs the AK. Now he has to try and back up. He needs to survive with this AK. Doesn't want to have to buy it here. Doesn't matter. Bialy goes on the push. That is going to be Virtus.Pro pushing this game to match point against Titan. And if you're Titan, you have to be sweating right now.
Yeah, it's do or die time for Titan, and the economy is not quite what they might want. Everybody's sitting on around $4,000, so we do have a timeout being called. Definitely going to be a tactical timeout by Titan. I mean, if they lose this round, it's all over. Titan goes home. Virtus.Pro moves on into the finals, which will be a best of 5. If Titan's able to win this round, it's not over yet. They'll still have to force another round on top of that and then win the overtime. It's quite the uphill struggle. Titan are the underdogs. This has been a tournament of upsets. Question is, can they do it?
So at this point, Virtus.Pro has this round and 1 more to try and get the win.
Yeah.
They got 2 rounds to try and grab that 16th round, if it even needs that. And last map, when Titan had a tactical pause, we remember what happened. It was actually a force buy eco that they were trying to kind of come up with there. Well, it was just a force buy, excuse me.
Right.
They forced, after the timeout, they ended up winning off of that timeout. So if that holds true, I mean, they're 1 for 1 on them. So maybe they can do it again. But this time, it's not going to be just a straight force buy. I mean, they're not going to have an op out onto the board. But, I mean, it's going to be M4s with utility.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better.
Well, what's dangerous
this time?
What's dangerous? Okay, let's assume they buy something really solid over here. I mean, they have to. They win the round. It's important to keep a lot of your players alive. Keep your players on the board so that your money is high enough to field a decent buy in the next round. Otherwise, you're going to be economically wrecked, and you're facing them, 15-14 with weaker weapons, not a whole lot of utility. You absolutely need to have that, especially on B site. You need to show up, smoke off your stuff, so you can set up shop, get entrenched in all those positions. Titan having deep discussions. What are we going to do? What sort of positions are we going to do? I'm curious if they're going to pull something unusual out. Maybe they pull out some of these counter boost tactics, unusual stackings of sites. The momentum is certainly in Virtus.Pro's favor. All they have to do is play a default and make a decision once Titan makes a mistake.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because even if Titan does win this one, if it's not a super clean round, they're spending so much money on rebuys that they're not going to have much more money than they started this round with. It's going to be rough for them to try and get into a 15th round. Whereas even if Virtus.Pro drop this, they have more than enough money to make a nice, healthy, big fat buy out of it. And so even if you get that 14th round as Titan, getting the 30th round, the final round of regulation here on this map, is going to be very tough, depending on how you win this, how cleanly it gets won.
Nothing unusual going on for Titan. They just have Shocks pushed up very far up on long, hoping that Virtus.Pro pushes the issue, but it's just going to be Neo in his standard position, lurking around the corner. There's an opening pick from Pasha. Smiths is down. He's got one pick on B side, and it looks like
here comes the drop.
Yeah, they're all going to go towards dropping down. Can RPK hold him off? Not meant to be. He's taken down as well. It's going to be a huge man advantage, 5 versus 3. If Virtus.Pro win the round, this is it.
Yeah, this is rough. So now we got Shocks and Scream. Last hope here for Titan. They have to come up absolutely huge. Otherwise, Virtus.Pro is going to win this series 2-0. Go on to the grand finals once again. Shocks is going to be trying to push his way through halls. Scream's going to be the slow man trying to work from A. Got to be careful, Shocks. Right above him is Neo. Neo hears him. They're going to drop down. Gun battle ensues. Shocks will get Neo, but Pasha's there with the op. So it's all up to Scream. The last man standing. He's going to be 1 versus 4 to keep his team alive in this and not drop out in the semis. Scream's going to go peek towards that door. They know exactly where he is. Bialy's going to come through the window.
Nope.
Bialy will be right there, but Taz actually steals the frag. Virtus.Pro is going to be your first team making it to the grand finals in a 2-0 fashion over Titan.
That's positively nuts right there. It couldn't be closer, particularly in the second half where it was trading back and forth throughout basically the entire game. It was a story of egos and force buys winning the game, things that generally on paper should not happen. Titan pulling it off, Virtus.Pro pulling it off. It got a little bit scary there for a while.
Yeah.
With a couple of rounds strung together, and then Virtus.Pro, round 11, there it is. They won run, and then they turned the plow on. A little late, but it's all they needed.
I mean, it's essentially it happened that way on both halves of this map. I mean, round 11 in the first half, that's when they turned it on. They got 5 in a row out of that one. Ended up being 6 in total before they started doing this back and forth thing in second half. And then round 11 in the second half again, round 22 anyways, in total, ended up going back 4 in a row for them. And they just held it down. They played very well. I mean, Scream still played great. RPK still played amazing. Again,
RPK
Shocks
was sick.
Yeah, Shocks ended up stepping up quite a bit. I mean, he ended at 17 frags, but still, just the way that Pasha was playing with the op in his hand, how Snacks was playing, Bialy, that B-bomb site was crazy on lockdown. Neo on the rotates.
You can't do anything.
Yeah, Taz over there at A playing the slope and playing the halls. That's a tough victory to come away from when they're playing that good.
RPK has really made quite a name for himself.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at this roster here. It is the Very Games roster, except they don't have NBK. They have RPK, who's actually pulled out of retirement to come back into playing this game at a very high level.
Yeah.
Initially, he wasn't doing so hot. His story very much mirrors that of Freakazoid, who stepped away for a while and then came back and struggled a bit. And here you have RPK just carrying so heavily with 26 kills.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that's enough from us, Misled. It's been fun. Let's see what the analysts have to say. Over to you, Scoots.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Again, it didn't start well for Virtus.Pro.
Nope.
They went down 8-7 on that half, and again, on the side that they should have more rounds on, right? They started CT. So again, we were kind of sitting there going, well, maybe a map 3, maybe not. But again, as these guys said, a lot of back and forth rounds, but then finally Virtus.Pro just started to lock it down.
I was worried that we were going to be stuck in analyst hell again for a moment there, because we did highlight that Titan's T-sides hadn't been great on Cobble. Actually, that map there that they played, they had a much improved T-side. So if they want to go home and take some positives away from it, then that's great. That's what you want to be doing on T-side. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't stop Virtus.Pro on the CT side. Very few teams can. So Titan, I feel this we got the right result. It's justified. But and I don't think Titan were really ever truly at the races here. Bit of a strange timeout at the end as well. They kind of left it a little bit late when they were at match point. But yeah, I just feel that Virtus.Pro proved their superiority on these two maps, and you can see from the scoreline, kind of Smiths didn't perform as well as he had done in previous Cobble iterations. But you know, there were signs of life. Scream did well, RPK did well. I mean, Shucks, despite you know, not getting as many kills as some of those guys, I thought he had some pretty key moments, some nice AWPing, but just everyone seemed to be on point for Virtus.Pro. So yeah, I mean, right result in the end.
So, some similarities to map 1, which is Titan got a really nice start again. Things are going great. You think, oh, maybe they've got a chance if they can keep this going. VP get enough rounds overall that, okay, it's going to be on them on the T side, but we know how fantastic they're on the T side. And Bialy came to play today. His entry fragging was on.
Yep.
They really got it going in this game. And when you can win that many rounds on T side in the second half of a match where you're under pressure, you know you're a phenomenal T side team. And we know they're one of the best in the world. So, okay, it wasn't that great a series in terms of the back and forth. And could Titan have won the series? Probably not. When you see that they even got things going their way early on, they had good performances from players who'd underperformed.
Yeah.
Even Existence turned up on that map. But it's a good, nice little preview for the final, I think, because we know that whoever VP plays there, VP's really starting to get good now. They're starting to get where they're getting towards that nice form where they're going to be very tough to beat in a best-of-5 final. So they're the final boss here. They're the reigning champions from last season, and I feel like whoever they play from this next semi-final knows they're up against it. But like not like a blow-away performance, obviously, but a workman performance from VP where they did everything they needed to on the sides they needed to, and you haven't seen a weakness still from that, I don't think.
The only worry, I think, for Virtus.Pro is that they are getting off to these slow starts. And maybe a more momentum-based team, maybe a team that does have that kind of ability to really string rounds together, marshal their economy well, you know, get some blowout rounds where they're not losing guns. They play a team like that. That could be a worry for them. But ultimately, you know, do Conquest or Mouse Sports have that in the locker? I'm not too sure. I think, you know, there'd be some real worries if you were going to come up against perhaps another slightly further up the food chain kind of team. But right now, Virtus.Pro playing well within themselves, and they look really comfortable. Best team we've seen here, you know, intimately, I think, just in terms of they haven't even had to get out of first gear yet.
They've only dropped one map.
Yeah.
And that one map is their best map anyway. So they're not worried. They're coming in. They really are. Like, they're primed to win this tournament. It's their tournament to lose. But can one of these teams give them a challenge? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, and obviously Titan does go home 3rd and 4th place.
Yep. Much better showing than I thought they were going to get.
You certainly want
The
to
way
see
it ended is very different from how it began. I mean,
Absolutely.
Richard was absolutely right to criticize him in that way. You're looking at the team and you're going, I almost don't want to watch this team play. Nothing works in the team. What's the best you could hope for?
Yeah.
Now, they never got to a position at the end where they were a really good team and you can go, right, they'll definitely build on this. But it's like within just the storyline of this one tournament, you saw how step by step pieces started to fall into place. They started to figure out not necessarily something that will always work, but something that could at least work enough for now. And they could get through matches and make matches close. And hey, they managed to give VP some of a run for it, especially on Cobble. Just in the end, I mean, they were never going to win this tournament. You have to be real about that.
Yeah. And we often, like, most players when they lose, are like, oh, we didn't have a good game. They had a great game. And like Shocks from his tweet that night to even his interview today, we played bad. Like, you don't hear them be that honest with themselves.
Man. I mean,